Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Thursday afternoon, just before Friday, Monday morning podcast, and I'm just checking in on you. Just checking in on you, seeing how your day's going. I hope everything's good with you. I had a weird, busy week. I'm supposed to be, taking time off, but, people ask me to do things, and I say, all right, because they're fun or they're cool. And then I don't look at my schedule, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, I got something fucking 3 days in a row. I'm supposed to be relaxing. Is this fucking bird going to be doing this shit the whole time? Oh, there he is. Top of the roof, just running his fucking yap. He's saying the same thing over and over again. What the fuck? Yeah, that's what he's saying. It's kind of perfect timing there. Speaking of which, what was it? Tuesday? Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Cut it out. He doesn't give a fuck. Just do it. Just sitting there with its fucking mouth open. What are you, appalled that I had the nerve? I'm out here too. Jesus. These fucking crows. Anyway, you're just gonna have to deal with the omen in the background during this podcast. So, there is literally no place to do a fucking pod. This is why people have studios. I swear to fucking Christ. What are the fucking odds? What are the fucking odds? I literally just fucking park somewhere else, and then these two fucking construction guys come out. They're fucking running their yaps. I find a quiet fucking street, and I got a fucking bird who won't shut the fuck up. Jesus fucking, can you tell I don't have time? Remember when Danny Glover was too old for this shit? I don't have the fucking time for this shit. Oh, look at this fucking old school Mustang. That's the one I like. I never used to like the rear end on the 65 and 66, but I loved the interior, the steering wheel. And I like the 67, 68 rear end better. But I hated the steering wheel's fucking terrible on that car. But now I've come around. I like the 65. Anyway. Oh, God, that's so fucking wonderful. Get away from that goddamn bird. I wonder if that's how Alfred Hitchcock came up with the birds. He was trying to write some movie. Some crow wouldn't shut the fuck up. And they're also, crazy. If you help them out, they remember it. And if you don't, if you're an asshole, they carry grudges. According to Instagram. So what does that mean? I don't know. So anyway, I agreed to roast this guy at his retirement party. And I always say no to these things because I just get uncomfortable. It's outside the comedy club. It's outside my comfort zone. You have no idea what the setup's going to be. So, the further you get in your career, the more people ask you to do this shit. And eventually you're going to have to do it. So you got to learn how to do them. So I was a huge fan of this guy. I'm not going to name any names, right? It was a sports guy, right? So I go, all right, I'll go down and do that thing. So I go down to do the gig, and I'm a surprise. So nobody knows that I'm there. They're shuffling me through the fucking kitchen and all of this shit. I've written my jokes, and it's always weird, roasting somebody you don't know, right? So I always keep it classy because, if I know them, they know that I'm joking. But if I just met them, it could come off mean. And I grew up old school roasts where it was just no matter what you said, you felt the love and respect underneath it. So I was like, all right, I'm going to work clean. I'll do a lot of self-deprecating stuff, blah, 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 and all of that type of stuff. So I'm standing behind the curtain waiting to go on. And here's the thing about when you do those, when you perform at one of those athlete things, all those athletes, they've given speeches after, games. They talk to reporters. They're on camera all the time. They speak at banquets. They do motivational speaking. They have chops. And then they've played the game, and they have stories, and they're all guys, and they're funny as hell. And every time I've done one of those things, I'm always sitting in the back of the room going, they didn't need me. These guys are all killing it. The first time I ever did it, stand up on something. If you can believe this, I was an unknown comedian. I was living in New York City, and probably all the known comedians were like, I don't want to do that. That's going to be a weird gig. So I was too green to know not to take the gig. So I actually did like stand up in New York City at the Baseball Writers Awards. Like they were literally giving out like the Cy Young Award and huge stuff like that. And this is way back in the day. I remember Joe Torre was there, Roger Clemens, Willie Randolph, who was coaching the Mets at the time. I remember he fucking killed. Everybody was killing. Everybody was funny. And they were so funny, like I kind of forgot I had to go on. Then I was like, oh my God, I gotta go. I gotta follow this stuff. So then I went up there, and it's just like, it's like pulling the emergency brake, where it's just like, who the hell is this guy, right? But I was able to get through it. It was kind of fun because it was 2004, right after the Red Sox beat the Yankees and then finally broke the curse and won the World Series. So they were a little salty about it. So, and I got to tell a few jokes. I got booed a little bit, in like a playful way or whatever. But so I just remember doing that gig going like, man, that was just, I didn't feel comfortable doing that. And I've kind of run from those things. So now I'm like, all these years later going, I should have been doing these things right along, blah, 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 because things come up. Like a buddy of mine, just got an award and he wanted, all his friends to come down and say something nice about him, and you can't say no to that. You say no, then it's like, what, you don't like me? So when I was getting ready to do that thing, I was like going, see, Bill, you turn down all of these gigs, you attract what you fear. Now here's one you can't say no to and you haven't done anything like this. And now you're like freaking out. Why don't you just start saying yes to these things so you can learn how to do them? So I go, all right. So my manager asked me to do this thing. I'll go, just give me 24 hours to think about it. And I was just like, you know what? Stop being a bitch. Just fucking do this thing. So anyway, I'm standing there behind the curtain waiting to do this. And then it finally hits me. Like, this guy's like in his, 80s. Like, and he doesn't know I'm coming here. Like, the odds of this guy not having any idea who I am are pretty high. So they go, everybody has been coming up here. This is like the intro. They all been saying like nice stuff and blah, blah, blah. They all love you and everything. But, this next guy is a surprise guest. He's not going to be so nice. Don't get mad at him. This was on me. Please welcome, blah, blah, blah. And I come walking out there. Now, usually if you're going to roast somebody, they're sitting down in a chair on like the stage. And I come walking out and the dude's standing there wearing like a fucking, like a black, like Hawaiian shirt. And he's got a microphone. He's just standing there. It was like super awkward. And then in the front row is all of these Hall of Fame athletes. There's not a face I don't recognize. And we're in this conference room at this resort, right? And I'm just like, so I'm like, hey, man. And I did a couple of jokes. And the dude just goes, wait a second. And he had a big smile on his face. And he goes, who are you? Biggest laugh. I saw it like everybody's head just went back and they were dying laughing. And then I just, in a playful way, I just snapped going like, see, this is why I always say no to these things. You guys tell great stories. No one knows who I am. I don't know why I'm here. And then everybody was dying laughing at that. And then I just start roasting them like in a playful way. And, but he has like a microphone. So he's like chiming in. So we became like this comedy team. So like, I was saying, you built this program with blah, blah, and blah. And he goes, yes, I did, but that was not the order. He's like, the so-and-sos came first. Huge laugh. I'm not going to say the jokes and everything because it was a private thing. And then finally I just said, usually the person's sitting down. So they finally brought a chair up and he sat down, but he had like a microphone. So, anyway, it was just so weird, and the guy that I was roasting was so funny, and they were all laughing at me dealing with it, and I just sort of rolled with it, and and it ended up going great. I finished, got like a mini standing ovation, and you know, the guy I was roasting came over, gave me a hug, and I said in his ear, I go, Bill Burr, comedian. I'm a stand-up comedian, Bill Burr, and he laughed, and then that was it. And I got off stage, and I got to tell you, I felt like a battleship was off my chest, and I was really excited that, you know, I got through that, and I'm not good at those things. And I've decided that I'm just going to start saying yes to those things so I can turn it into a strength rather than this thing that I have to be like, oh, my God, I got to go on and, you know, and say all this nice, you know, stuff about, like, that's the big thing as a guy. If you have to go and actually say nice things about a friend of yours or someone that you admire, there's always that thing as a guy. You're like, oh my God, what if I get emotional? You know, what if that happens? Because, you know, men, we're not allowed to do that. You know, you can't go Dick Vermeil in the middle of a stand-up set saying how much you love the guy that you're roasting. You know what I mean? So I always got nervous about that. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to keep myself in my nice little walled-off defensive emotional place in comedy clubs. So anyway, you know, to use the sports analogy, if you play hoop and you can't go to your left, what do you start doing? You start going to your left, and then it becomes a strength. And then, you know, you don't have to be anxious when you play, and then you can play at a higher level. So I was trying to do that comedically, so I was very excited that that happened. So last night, I went to the Greek Theater, and I saw Primus with their new drummer, John Hoffman. And I got to tell you something, man. I've seen that band, I don't know how many times. But every time I see them, they just get better and better and better. They were like on fire last night. It was like face melting stuff. I so wished, you know, I wish I took some mushrooms or something, but they let me sit in on one song, so I couldn't, like, you know, and I knew I was going to go early, you know. It's not like I'm a musician, so they're like, all right, let's get the clown out of the way early. So it was after 3 songs. But then I was kind of like, you know, is this going to be one of these things if I, you know, have some mushrooms, like, you know, thanks a lot, good night. And then, boom, they hit. And then I'm just tripping, trying to fucking drive home. I don't want to be doing that. So, you know, they had the elephants jumping up and down on the trampolines and shit. It's just like, this is the show. And the vibe is great. But anyways, they had, I got to sit in on Too Many Puppies. And I can't even, you know, I'm at the Greek, and me and my brothers, you know, when we used to jam way back in the day, we used to try and play, like, the few songs that they had where, like, Les was sort of playing a bass line that my brother could keep up with. And, like, to just be looking up and seeing him, you know, and then seeing Lair looking back at me, smiling and everything. And John was, like, beyond cool. Oh, my God, he sounded amazing. And he had just got a brand new orange sparkle DW kit. And I just saw that thing. I was like, dude, that is going to look fucking sick under the lights. And it did. It looked like it was glowing. And then, oh, by the way, Justin Chancellor from Tool was playing bass also. And then fucking Guitar Center Me was up there. And but I was psyched. You know, I fucked up some of the changes. I you know, they kind of asked me a couple weeks ago, and I thought for some reason it was the middle of August. So I was just writing for that roast, and I was like, oh, fuck, it's the next day. So I had my little drum chart, and I went and I sat down and I put it down upside down, and then I had in-ears, which I'd never used, and they were working, of course, until I sat down, and then they weren't. But I could still hear the band, but I was just going like, what the fuck? So I messed up a couple of changes. But in the end, those 16th note triplets, you know, there's like 4 fills. I played the first and the third, and John, like, murdered the second and the fourth. But, you know, I did the 16th note triple thing and then just played like a quad thing. You know, I stayed in my wheelhouse, but it sounded, I think I pulled it off. And but my favorite part was when I went out to the crowd after, and I went with my lovely wife, and she didn't know anything about Primus. And we were like, as we were walking in, you know, I was running into people. Hey, man, hey, how you doing? You know, and she was like trying to get a read on what a Primus fan is. And it, you know, Primus fans are everywhere from like Grateful Dead-ish to like jocks to like introverts to out. I mean, it's outgoing people. It's just like, it's a wide mass of people that don't look like they should be together, but they do. There's some sort of through line that you can't quite put your finger on for a Primus fan. So when I went out to the crowd and I sat with my wife, she had this look on her face. She was going like, these guys are great. I like this. This is sort of like kind of funky. I was like, yeah. I go, it's kind of like, you know, it's like Rush meets conspiracy theory meets like Bootsy Collins. I don't know how to like describe it, but it's fucking awesome. And like the end of the concert when I saw my wife chanting Primus sucks, I was like, I was telling Les afterward, I go, that was the music equivalent of if my wife actually sat down and watched a sporting event with me and high-fived me in the end. So, anyway, so I got to do that. And then today I'm sitting in with somebody else at like, sort of like a Guitar Center thing, which is where I belong, which is cool. And then that's the end of my 3 night in a row getting outside of my comfort zone. And I can't tell you, those gigs actually really help with my stand-up, because then to actually just do what I do for a living, you know, when I walk on stage, it just feels like I'm playing t-ball. So there you go. There's a little old Billy life lesson there. You know, go out in that fucking thing that you're saying no to, not because you don't want to do it, because you're afraid. Just go, yes. That's how I started my stand-up career. When I saw there was a phone number and it was for a talent contest, find Boston's funniest college student, I went home, set down my fucking backpack from college and just picked up the phone in my parents' house and called the number, because I knew if I didn't, I was going to sit down and that fear was going to take over. And, maybe in the next contest, I was just call up and do it now before you chicken out. And then I did it. And then it was like, that's it. That's it. Now the hourglass has been tipped over, you know? And when that sands out, you go on stage and whatever the fuck happens, happens. And it doesn't fucking matter. It's not about doing well. It's just about having the balls to go up there. So that's it. Give yourself permission to suck, and then you're off and running. There you go. Do you ever think you'd be taking tips from somebody who went to summer school? Who gets angry at birds? Angry Birds. Did I really get mad at a crow for crowing outside? It's not like it flew into my living room. I'm an idiot. But you know what? It was bothering me. I could have addressed it in a more healthier way, but I did. I got away from it. I had healthy boundaries. And then what? Look at me now. I'm sitting behind a 65 Mustang that is just gorgeous to look at, but makes me a little sad because it needs to be washed. It's kind of making me feel like it doesn't have any love. You know, I always wanted one of those when I was a kid, and then I got into cars and so many of the other ones, and I kind of realized to have a Mustang was sort of hacky. Like there was so many of them and so many people had them. But now I don't know. I've come around. I kind of like him again. Look at that fucking lizard. Just crawling on a wall, sideways. Going past me in the other direction. To have those Spider-Man skills and you know it's still going to get killed by a snake, it's just fucking unbelievable. And what's it trying to kill? It's fucking insane. I know this is difficult, but this is nature. God, I hate that. I hate when people do that. I know this is hard to watch, but this is nature. Why are you acting like you're out in the fucking Serengeti right now? You're on a computer or on your phone just like me. Old Billy Bookworm. Old Billy Bookworm has been majorly off his phone fucking major, bruh. Off my phone, and I've been reading, and it has been fantastic for my brain. Now, if I could just stop drinking 4 fucking cappuccinos every day. I've gone off the rails with the coffee. There's always something. There's always something. So I've been doing that. I've been getting along great with my wife, which has been fantastic. And then she got me in this show, The Valley. And there's this dude on there. Oh, I told you about that. This fucking dude, man. You know, he's battling the bottle, which I can fucking relate to. But, man, the level of his denial is just, it's fucking fantastic. And the last episode, he got confronted about his drinking problems with a guy who has problems with blow. Not only does he have problems with blow, he was fucking gacked out of his mind telling this guy that he needs to work on his fucking drinking problem. And I get empathy for all of them, anybody with like addiction shit, because I figured out over the years, like, I don't have that blow up your whole life addiction thing, but I'm definitely on the spectrum. So anyway, I was just watching this guy, and it's actually scary because the guy is well into his 40s. You can't do blow in your 40s, okay? And I got to tell you, that is the truest thing I've ever said on this podcast. Like, you shouldn't ever do blow. But if you're going to do cocaine, you can't, like, once I think north of 32, forget about fentanyl or whatever, however the fuck you say it, all of that shit. I just mean if it's just regular old school cocaine, you can't do that shit past your early 30s. Your heart just cannot fucking take it. So, the dude's face and his chest are all fucking red, and he's just confronting this guy. I'm just like, I mean, this is like, I know it's a reality show, but it is an amazing, like, documentary on addiction and how, the denial of it, the whole, just that whole, I don't have a problem, you have a problem. I'm gacked out of my mind, and I want to confront you right now about your drinking problem. I mean, that's fucking amazing. That is, that is like, you're just bending the matrix to fit your own fucking reality. Anyway, let me do some of the reads here for this week, and then I'll wrap this thing up talking about my Red Sox. All right, lucid, everybody, which I thought it meant scatterbrained, and it actually means you're thinking clearly. That's how dumb I am. Lucid with a Y, Lucyd. Are you getting a neck hump from staring at your phone all day? Yeah? Stop doing that. Get yourself a pair of Lucid smart glasses. Lucid glasses, Bluetooth to your phone so you can listen to music, take calls, and talk to Siri hands-free. It's super convenient and just like headphones and glasses in one. The open-ear audio is safer than regular earbuds that cut you off from the world so you can still hear everything and everyone around you. It's so much better than plugging your ears while running, cycling, or just walking around, and no more lost earbuds. You can also download for free the Lucid app for iOS and Android. What is iOS? That has to be iPhone, right? To add more features like walkie-talkie, talk to Chat GPT, and hearing the news. They come in a lot of different styles and sizes, and you can order them in any prescription from lucid.com. That's lucyd.co. It's really like lucid.co. They have regular optical style glasses, smart safety glasses, and even a new sporty collab with Reebok for the gym buffs. Lucid is committed to doing good. They pay a $20 minimum wage. All full-time staff are shareholders of the company. Look at this. All shipments are carbon neutral, and they use recycled packaging. Lucid has also donated over 4,000 pairs of sunglasses to needy folks across South Florida because good vision should be a human right. So, if if you're ready to upgrade your eyewear, head to lucid.co, lucyd.co, and use the code Burr, B-U-R-R, for 20% off and start listening to this podcast on your glasses. How cool is that? All right, look who it is. It's Hims. Hims can solve snoring or blanket can't solve snoring or blanket stealing. But when it comes to performance, they got you covered. Take control of your erectile dysfunction with personalized treatments made with proven ingredients prescribed by licensed providers 100% online. Through Hims, you can access personalized prescription treatment options for ED like Hard Mints and Sex RX plus Climax Control if prescribed. What do they start playing audio of a baseball game in your head? You shouldn't have to go out of your way to feel like yourself. Hims brings expert care straight to you with 100% online access to personalized treatments that put your goals first. That isn't one-size-fits-all care that forgets you in the waiting room. It's your health and goals put first, with real medical providers making sure you get what you need to get results. Think of Hims as your digital front door that gets you back to your old self. Jesus, Bill. With simple 100% online access to trusted treatments for erectile dysfunction and more. All in one place. To get simple online access to personalized, affordable care for erectile dysfunction, hair loss, weight loss, and more, visit hims.com/Burr. That's HIMS.com/Burr for your free online visit. hims.com/Burr. Actual price will depend on product subscription plan. Featured products include compound drug products which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information. They literally said, read that fast. How fucked up is that? Is it as fucked up as Phil's coffee? Somebody was telling me that they told all of their workers that, yeah, your shares in the company are no longer valid. So now there's going to be a class action suit from the employees because they know as the cunts at the top, they have all the money and they'll just bleed them dry and settle out of court for way less money. Fucking over your own employees. Fuck Phil's Coffee. I got a question for you. Who the fuck is Phil when it's a chain? Phil's Coffee. Like he's some guy in the neighborhood. Fuck that place. Fuck Starbucks. Fuck all of those places. So sick of that shit. Where's the government to step in? They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. You can't fucking do that, and it's not legal, and they're going to get fucking sued, but they're going to win. Can you imagine that? Like the fucking greed of that. They just sit around, this on the legal side of stealing. God damn it. The worst thing we ever did was deregulate everything, and all of that bullshit. You don't want government in your life talking to me, you know? They didn't want that. The corporations didn't want them in their lives because it prevented them from doing shit like this. The fucking cunts. Heartless fucking cunts. All right, moving ahead. Let's talk the Red Sox. Once again, fuck Phil's Coffee and Starbucks. Fuck all of those people. Anyway, we're starting with the coffee and then we're moving to Best Buy. Yeah, I watched the Red Sox yesterday. You know, whatever. We had a tough game. We had a new pitcher in there, and whatever. He's getting used to it. You know, they had a couple of cunty little flares or whatever. May is the guy's name. He's a ginger. He's got a mullet. I'm hanging in there with them. But what I was happy was Mike Yastrzemski went from the Giants to the Royals. He was in a bit of a slump with the Giants when we were playing him. So, you know, I grew up watching his grandfather, so I was really psyched. He's on a new team, got a new lease, and he was 2 for 2 with a run scored his first 2 at bats, single and a double, I think, and it was all right. It was all right. That's just how old I'm getting. It's like Carl Yastrzemski's grandson is playing in the lead. Bobby Witt Jr. is like the star. I remember watching Bobby Witt play. He was from my hometown. Really fucking cool. So anyway, I'm gonna watch a little bit of Red Sox. Oh no, I got to play some drums today. And then that's it. That's the end of Billy Make a Wish this week. So anyway, what else? Do I have anything else? Been going to the gym, losing my fucking spare tire. And yeah, I think that's it. There you go. There's a little 30 minutes here. You can listen to the music now picked out from the amazingly talented Andrew Themelis. And then afterwards, we'll have a bonus episode of the Thursday afternoon, just before Friday, Monday morning podcast. Have a great weekend, you cunts. Spend your money at mom and pop places. All right? Stop looking at people about whether they wear a red or a blue tie. Stop fucking being a racist idiot. Realize that all regular people, we're all in the same boat. We're all getting fucked over by the same people. That's it. All right? So fuck them. And, I feel like the pushback has happened. I mean, CEOs are getting, so many CEOs have been getting whacked. Mainstream media is now like lying about it and trying to create they were actually trying to go to the NFL. Were they? Is that what he was doing? I don't buy it. And, this is not surprising at all. You can't do this to people for too long. Eventually, you're going to do it to the wrong person that doesn't give a fuck, and something crazy is going to happen. This is very easily stopped. You don't have to make up stories. What you could do is stop being so fucking heartless and greedy. And then magically, you're not going to have somebody coming in trying to take you out. Is it that simple? I think it is. All right, that's it. Have a great weekend. And thank you to everybody in Primus for letting me sit in. That was like just one of the most surreal moments of my life. And I absolutely love that band, and I love those guys. And everybody who's ever played in that band, they are just so fucking unique. And the Greek was just such a great place to see them, just being outside. Amazing. Amazing, amazing. They got a couple more shows on their tour. Definitely go out there and see them if you just want to see one of the best groups out there doing it. All right, that's it. Go fuck yourselves. I'll talk to you later.
Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Monday Morning Podcast for Monday, August 7th. Lucky 7! 2017. What's going on? Dude, he said 7, I thought 7, and then he yelled Lucky 7. Dude, I'm going to play that fucking number. Dude, I'm going down to Christie's, and I'm getting me a fucking set for life, getting 7 of them. Why can't I fucking hear myself? I'm screaming loud enough, aren't I? You know, people, when you're not talented, what you have to do is yell. If you don't believe that, watch my fucking last fucking whatever. I don't know how many special I've done. You know, when you're talking the amount of shit I do, why can't I hear myself the way I want to hear myself? Why can't I hear me the way I used to? Am I going deaf? Is that what's going on? How's that? Is that too much? Hello. Test 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. The fuck is with this thing? Do I have it on some sort of fucking parental mode? You know, hearing loss is one of the number one causes of hearing loss in 2017 because these earbuds that are all the rage with the children. I actually had time today to go over and go play drums today, and I put on a fucking ADD clinic. Jesus Christ. I practiced 9,000 things, got better at nothing. That's how I practice. Hey, let's do double bass for 2 minutes. Hey, let's work on singles and doubles. Hey, let's do the jazz ride pattern. Hey, let's fucking do some Bonham triplets. All right, just kept going and going. But you know what? I didn't sound that bad. I had a good time. I fucking love that kit, though. I had the small setup. A lot of you guys gave me shit because I had fucking 3 floor toms. Like, oh, what's your third one for? Your fucking keys and your fucking toupee. I don't own a toupee. All right? You can't own a toupee. You know what I mean? Although I bet they make them really good right now, but it would just be like wearing this fucking hat you could never take off. You know? You wake up in the morning and you got your little roller, you know, with the glue, you know, and you just fucking going over your scalp. You know, you're doing that and your wife comes walking in. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, she's going to be banging another guy within 3 days. If your fucking woman walks in while you're gluing hair to the top of your head, all right, and she doesn't leave you, that woman is a saint. You know what I mean? I love the guys who have like the toupee and then they can't even get like the sides to match it. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, are you fucking colorblind? Do you really think that's blending into what you got on the sides? You know what's funny, too, is when you go down the Toupee Road, they don't, as far as I know, they don't make any white ones, like if you're an older guy. So then you got to dye the shit you got on the side, right? So then it just makes people look at your head like you're just like, this guy's like 60. How does he have jet black? Oh, good Lord. Look at that fucking thing. Jesus. You know what I don't like about toupees, actually hair plugs now, is they're too good now. You used to be able to tell. And you could really fuck somebody up in conversation. All you had to do, I don't give a fuck how smart they were. All you had to do was just kind of look up at it and then look back at them, and then they were just fucked for the rest of the conversation. And those days are gone now because they got too goddamn good at it. So anyways, I was playing all the drum shit. And at this point, because my drum teacher is out on the road, I haven't been taking any lessons, drum teacher Dave Elich out with the night game, opening for Dave. No, I almost said Dave Matthews. No, John Mayer. Opening for John Mayer with Steve Jordan on drums. Jesus Christ. You get to see Dave Elich, and then you get to see Steve Jordan. How about that? Hey, there's a fucking evening for you. You know? That be enough for you goddamn millennials? Yeah, so I haven't been taking lessons, but it's actually kind of been a good thing because I can go back to all this shit that I never fucking got down that he showed me while developing new bad habits. But I'm kidding. Anyways, I'm having a great time. So people give me shit because I got the 3 floor toms, but this is why I did it. This was the method to my madness. All right, I got 12-inch rack, then I got a 14, 16, 18 floor tom. So, and then a 22 kick, right? So, I hate having 2 rack toms, but I ended up ordering another one. So I got a 12 and I got 13 coming. So now I can go big or small, people. Big or small. I can either go 12, 14, 16 or 13, 16, 18, depending on whatever song I'm going to go butcher on the goddamn Comedy Jam. All right? Why can't I just have a hobby without people criticizing it? Why can't people just say, hey, nice drum kit? Dude, what do you got the 3rd fucking floor tom for? Is that just yeah, Jesus. I don't know. So I'm trying to get out of the fucking the Bonham death spin I went on for fucking 30 years. I'm just trying a different setup. That's all I was doing. Got more goddamn shit for that. That and saying nuclear instead of nuclear. You know? I love the word police. You know what I mean? It's just like, where are you going to get in life with that? You know? It's not nuclear, it's nuclear. I've always said nuclear. I've always said it. It sounds right to me. Rolls off the tongue a little bit easier than nuclear. It's a nuclear weapon, not nuclear, laughing my ass off. Let me ask you this. Where are you laughing your ass off? Where exactly are you in your fucking life? Because as dumb as I am, I'm doing all right. You know? Is there a fucking job that you can do where you dot all your I's, cross all your T's, and correct spelling? What are you going to be, like, I guess a teacher? Is that what it is? Do I have a bunch of teachers following me on Twitter? I don't know why they would. You know? Good Lord. These fucking people that are always like, there's so much shit. I used to say palo instead of pillow. Get the palos off the fucking, I've you know, it's just shit you just say in a different way. Because does that mean you don't know what the fuck you put your head on at night? Where does that get you? Can you make a living doing crossword puzzles? Those are those kind. They're good at Sudoku or Sudoku, however the fuck you say that. Sudoku for you, right? They're good at that shit. Dude, she's really smart. She can do the New York Times. She can do the New York Times crossword puzzle. Great. Fantastic. Now, where does that get you? Where does that get you in life? I mean, I don't know. I mean, tell me how that's holding me back. That's what I want to know. And I know I'm kind of harping on this, but this is like the 900th word you guys have fucking corrected me on it. I don't give a shit. I like nuclear. Sounds like it's more fucking like the missile's spinning a little bit more. Nuclear, like nuclear. Keep it clear. Here it comes. Nuke-You-Lar. It's like, well, it's a little shoulder roll in there. Nuke-You-Lar. I like it. I'm keeping it. Fuck off. You know, do you guys like write fucking Jay-Z every time he says ho and you're like, actually it's whore. Laughing my ass off. I bet you don't, right? Because you're liberals. You know, but you fucking white male fucks up, and what do? You hold my fucking alabaster feet to the fire, don't you? I've had enough of it. All right? I've had enough of people trying to make me not sound like I'm ashamed of how stupid I am. I'm not, okay? I saw the carrot, man, and I walked towards it. I knew what I was good at. I knew being a loudmouth fucking moron was what I was good at, and I just did that, okay? I'm not going to ever be in a classroom teaching people how to spell or pronounce shit, okay? So let it go. The ship has sailed. There's no hope for me. All right? But you know what the deal is? The real reason they're not doing it for me, they're doing it for them. To show how smart they are. Oh, it's not turtle, it's turtle. Laughing my ass off. I know how to say that fucking amphibian's name. Oh, actually, it's not an amphibian. Will you stop it? It's not an amphibian. An amphibian has the ability. Shut the fuck up. You know what are those people? Are they practicing to be on a game show? Is that what it is? That's like the smart way a person plays the lottery, I guess, right? The lottery, you just can be a dope like me going, dude, you see that nuclear weapon? And then you go in, let me get a fucking set for life, right? That's how I try to make it, okay? The smarty pants who can actually do the New York Times crossword puzzle is now, trying to get on like Wheel of Fortune. Because, that's like the fucking dumbest crossword you can do. Whatever the fuck. Is that a crossword? No, it isn't, right? It's like guess the letters. It looks like a crossword, but it isn't. But I just love that you can be smart enough to do the New York Times crossword puzzle, and then still you got to get on there, right? And you got to spin a wheel. And spinning that wheel, there's no intelligence. You just spin it, right? You can be the smartest person in the world, and you're going to lose a turn. Or bankrupt, and it's fucking over. I like watching Jeopardy when, there's somebody you just can't defeat this guy and all these other smarty pants get on there. In their whole life, they were the fucking smartest one. You know those people that don't like drink and they play board games. Like, let's play Trivial Pursuit. You know what I mean? Let's play whatever those fucking games are. I have to tell you, some of the saddest moments in my adult life is I've gone to parties and all of a sudden they break out board games. And you ever see like when somebody's on hidden video and they start looking around like what the fuck and the crowd starts laughing? Like that's the look on my face. Like, yeah, they're not going to do this. They're not doing this, are they? Does everybody have to play? Like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to fucking do. What am I, 5 years old? Are we trapped in a fucking cabin and then there's no television? No, this is great. You can connect with you. I'll play some cards. I like how cards is like, what I love about cards is just like, there's a sleazy vibe to cards that I've always enjoyed. Even though I don't play a lot of cards, but even like those fucking old ladies. Seen some old lady with their bony fingers fucking shuffling, not even looking, talking some shit. She's got her favorite little candies right to the right, in a dish. I saw an old lady today. I was down at the grocery store buying some fucking food, right? And this lady comes around the corner. She had on like this turquoise blazer with like some sort of brooch. I forget what she had underneath it. She had white slacks on, white shoes, and a white purse. Just old school, dressed to the fucking nine. She looked great. Total fucking class act. Made me miss my grandmother. My grandmother was a sharp dresser. Those people, they knew how to fucking dress. You know what I mean? And then they buy a pair of shoes, and God damn it, they took care of them. Not like us today, Well, every black person I knew, they always took care of their fucking sneakers. You know what I mean? Keep the fucking things looking brand new, taking out a goddamn, the nail brush, scrubbing the sides, right? That was another white privilege moment, right? How you could just have dirty sneakers and that was okay. What, man? I went outside and they got dirty, man. You keep watching them and he's always going to be dirt out here, man. I remember when Patrice used to give me shit for my sneakers being dirty. I was just like, I mean, in a fucking beauty pageant? He's like, Bill, if you were black and you walked out, I'm like, I'm not black. This is totally socially acceptable for me. I get it. You have new sneakers on. Congratulations. Anyways, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm doing this Sunday night because, as always, I have a million things to do during this time of year as we're writing season three of Episode Family. We're going to be recording episode 3 and writing episode 4 this week. Big shit going. We're almost at the clubhouse turn here. No, it's actually coming down the back stretch. I think we'll have 5 written and recorded by the end of this month. And I know what you guys are thinking. So what does that mean? It comes out in December? Oh, no. No, there's like 40 different other things you have to do to it over the course of the next, I don't know how many months before it finally fucking comes out. I have no idea. We were joking one time. I think by the time we do the 6th season, I'll be in my late 60s. But I have to tell you, I really fucking like it. I really like doing it, and I really enjoy being in the writer's room. Some days it sucks when the shit just isn't working, and my brain isn't working, and I'm fried. Some of those days suck, but then everybody else is saying funny shit, so that makes you get going, But I actually really enjoy writing dialogue. Who would have thought, In a way, I can, some guy who says nuclear can actually write a fucking episode of television. Just think about that. Okay, think about that. And then stop complaining about who's president right now. Okay, if you can say nuclear and then you can George Bush used to say nuclear. The amount of people that fucking laughed at him, and I want to be like, hey, are you bilingual? Can you also speak Spanish? Huh? Did you go to Yale? The guy went to fucking Yale. All right? I don't give a shit if his dad got him in or what. He's a legacy. He still went there. He still got that education. Still got to be a member of the Skull and Bones. I think that's why he had that laugh. Because he knew he didn't belong there. He knew he just got pushed down that fucking road. What do you think he really wanted to do? I think what you do after you're president really lets people know how much you love the job. You know what I mean? And he just fucking Bill Clinton, he's still, Bill Clinton was all about the horse, so he's still out there giving speeches. Oh, how you doing? Hey, nice fucking tits, right? He's still out there, Jimmy Carter's building fucking homes, and then you got fucking George Bush. He's fucking hanging out like a trust fund kid. He's just sitting around painting. Did you ever see that documentary, Rich Kids? One of the saddest fucking things I've ever seen in my life was these people, they were born into such wealth. One of them was, they were part of the Johnson & Johnson family, which I think a lot of people don't know what that is. But when I was growing up, everything was made by Johnson & Johnson. I'm sure they got bought out, whatever. But when I guess when they bought that out, Johnson & Johnson, they built it in that their kids would always just be taken care of and would have a position in the company. They were just getting money. It's this fucking beast that Johnson & Johnson built. The inertia of that fucking thing just tearing through the capitalist economy, right, was just so big that they get the skim. Remember fucking Casino, the skim? The kids still get the skim, and the fucking skim alone, they get a little fucking duffel bag of cash that they don't ever have to work in their life, right? And you would think that would be the fucking greatest thing ever. That would be the greatest thing ever. And it kind of turned out that it wasn't. I think it would be the greatest thing ever if you actually lived the other way first. But even then, I think it would get boring after a while. Do you think you could do it? I think if you just had enough money where you never had to work again, my thought would be, well, the next big thing in my life is I'm going to die. That's the next eventful thing. I have no deadlines. I have no worries. Oh, man, I would get like psycho obsessed with shit. You know? Like I do already, but then like my real life takes off. I want to fucking play drums. I want to play drums fucking 4 hours a day. I want to fucking play all fucking time. And then like my real life, hey, you got to go into the writer's room. And then it eases it off. Like if I just fucking was sitting there. Like when I was talking to you guys about that building in Manhattan, the one that looks like a giant cigarette, something Park Avenue. And I was like, what in the fuck is that thing? That thing's bigger than the Freedom Tower. And I went back and I looked at those pictures that they have from the penthouse in that building. And that bathtub, you know that bathtub everybody has now? It's shaped like the fucking Chicago Bears stadium. You know that one, that freestanding one? It's not on legs. Like it's big. The ladies love it, evidently, right? And it's right up on the fucking window. And you can just look out all the way south of Manhattan, past the Statue of Liberty, to see the fucking, you know, whenever the Germans come to attack us again, you know, this person in the fucking tub is going to see it first, right? Or the Japanese, I should say. I just figured that side of the country, you know. The Germans would be coming, right? With their nuclear weapons. Actually, why would you bring it over here? You just fucking shoot it off, wouldn't you? Anyway, so I was just looking at it. I was just trying to imagine sitting in that tub taking a bath. That would be one of the saddest experiences you could possibly have. It looks so fucking lonely. First one I saw, I was like, holy shit, that's fucking unbelievable. That looks like, I feel like I'm in a helicopter, but you're like in a fucking building. But then just being that high up, you can't even hear the city anymore. Just how quiet it would be. You know, you're getting to that level, that thing that astronauts see. You know, like the astronauts, they would go out and they would orbit the Earth, and they would just look down at it, and they were above all the bullshit. All the politics, all the religion, all the fucking war, all the disease, all the suffering, and they looked down, and they were able to see how beautiful it was, the paradise that we actually live in. We just sit here with all this petty shit, and like these guys would come back, and they couldn't talk to anybody about it. Couldn't give anybody else that perspective unless they talked to a fellow astronaut. So then they would just be, you know, pulling up to a stoplight, and they would see something, they would just randomly start crying. I think that would happen if I took a bath that high above fucking Manhattan. And you're just looking out all, because man, why don't we ever do the right? You'd be philosophically just saying, why don't we do the right thing? Why are we always like, you can't, that's the scary thing. That's why all pilots are a little fucking weird. There's something weird about going up there and just looking down at all of it, you know, like a higher being. Then you also get to see what the fuck we're doing to the planet. It's a really fucking, it's a weird thing. And then you combine that with the fact that you're taking a bath, one of the most relaxing thing ever. Just looking down at this fucking terror. I don't know. I also kind of wonder, like with global warming, like what's going to happen? You know? I'm sorry, climate change. I didn't mean to shock you by saying global warming. I hope I didn't ruin your day with those two fucking words. Let me say climate change so you can fucking relax a little bit. Still don't understand why they say that. Climate change. It's like when Halliburton changed its fucking name, right? What did they change it to? Peaches and cream? I can't fucking remember. Anyways, I was just thinking that, like, the more, like, severe the weather's going to get, like, what will that mean? You know, like, we can expect some crazy storms we've never fucking seen before. I wonder if they took that into consideration when they built that goddamn thing. That all of a sudden, you know, we're going to start getting like steroid era, Mark McGuire era fucking, you know, hurricanes. and this is going to be a category 19, and you're up there taking a fucking bath, watching the shit rolling in. You're going to go right out that fucking window in that tub, all the way down to the fucking pavement. But what a way to go. That porcelain thing, it'd be like the cartoons where you try to get the bath water back into the fucking tub. It would be a hell of a death. I honestly think if there is a God, he would fucking take extra time. He would take extra time with you just being like just watching the game film of your death going. I mean, just being like, I've seen people die since the beginning, man. This is one. This is definitely, I've never seen this one before. I've never seen somebody in a bathtub at 1,350 feet. I don't know. I don't know why I'm obsessed with that fucking building. It's just, I don't know. There was just something about it. And then the fact that they can't sell the one underneath it is the funniest shit ever. Because who the fuck's going to pay $85 million and still have somebody living above them go, you fucking knock it off up there? I mean, what am I paying for you? Anyways, how about those Red Sox, huh? How about those Red Sox? But you know something? They're undefeated. They won 5 in a row, undefeated this month. All right, and I went on the old internet there, right? And let me see here. I looked up the standings, the baseball standings. Yeah, that was the baseball one, right? This week in baseball. If you saw the highlights and actually heard an orchestra playing what I just played or tried to sing, it'd be tremendous. So, the Houston Astros evidently are the beasts of the American League. I was all excited that we swept the White Sox. I just realized that they're 41-68. I guess that's not such a big deal. Well, we did what we were supposed to do. We kicked the shit out of them, man. We won 6 in a row. Gone 8-2 the last 10. Picked up 3 games on them fucking Yankees. You see fucking Aaron Judge's 35th home run today? It had the same trajectory as a base hit, except it went out of the park. I'm telling you. It's like fucking Paul Bunyan coming to the goddamn plate. Loving the Indians in first place. That'd be great to see them win one. Let's test my knowledge. All right, Red Sox, last World Series, 2013. Yankees, 2009. Tampa Bay, never sit down, shut the fuck up. Baltimore Orioles, 1983. Toronto Blue Jays, they went back-to-back, 92-93. Cleveland Indians, 1948. Kansas City Royals, 2015? Last year was the Cubs, right? Minnesota Twins, 1991. Detroit, 1984. Chicago White Sox, 2005. Houston Astros, never sit down, shut the fuck up. Seattle Mariners, never sit down, shut the fuck up. This is so childish. Los Angeles Angels, 2002. Texas Rangers, you know it, never sit down, shut the fuck up. Oakland, 89. Washington Senators, never sit down, shut the fuck up. Miami Marlins, was it 2003? Atlanta Braves is 95. New York Mets, every Red Sox fan knows that's 1986. Philadelphia Phillies, 2008. Cubs, 2016. Milwaukee Brewers, never sit down, shut the fuck up. St. Louis Cardinals, oh shit, I don't know this one. They always win the fucking thing. Was it 2006 or they won it this decade? Pittsburgh Pirates, I don't know, 71. The Reds was 1990. The Dodgers was 88. Colorado Rockies, never. Arizona Diamondbacks, 2001. The one time I ever rooted for the Yankees because it was right after 9/11. I was like, who gives a fuck? I root for them. San Diego Padres, never. San Francisco Giants, I want to say they won it in 2010, 2012, and 2014. Is that right? 15 was the Royals, 16 was the Cubs. Yeah, I'd say 2014. That's not bad for somebody who doesn't fucking watch baseball. Was that boring to you? I'm sorry. Let me do, if that was boring enough, let me get to one of the most exciting parts of this podcast, listening to me read out loud. All right, here we go. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I was talking to somebody about that the other day when somebody had a doorbell like that when I had a paper route when I was a kid. I thought that meant they were rich. If it didn't just go bing bong or the fucking dentist drill one. If they actually had the one that went ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. You know? What was so weird is they'd answer the door before it ended and then they're fucking looking at you. All right. Oh, look who's here. All right. We're done. Right? Did we get through it all? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. 20 minutes to go. 20 minutes to go. Did I talk about everything I wanted to talk about? Did I mention Paul Verzi has a stand-up special that All Things Comedy Network is going to be producing, our first stand-up special. And the buzz on the road is Verzi's out there killing it like I knew he was going to. All right? August 13th at the Tarrytown Theater in beautiful Tarrytown, New York. Picturesque. Tom Hanks fucking Sleepless in Seattle looking fucking place, right? Me and, hang on. God damn this fucking computer. This fucking screen keeps shutting off. Me and Pete Davidson. Let me get this back on. There we go. All right. Me and Pete Davidson will be the sort of the masters of ceremony. We'll be warming you up, going out on stage together, giving each other shit, trying out new jokes, fucking around. I'm going to try to come out there in between shows. I don't want to slow down the taping, but I will definitely get out there, sign whatever you got, take some pictures or whatever. I'll try to move it along, or whatever, you know? Whatever I can do to fucking interact. We have a few seats left. I want to sell this thing out. It's a really important night for Paul and the All Things Comedy Network, so I'd appreciate it. If you got the time and you want to listen to, some comedy, come on down. August 13th. All right. Plowing ahead. And I'll be at the Count Basie Theater this weekend. Out in Jersey. Out in New Jersey. Red Bank, New Jersey. Which is really beautiful. I might go down to Asbury Park during the day. I have no idea what I'm going to do. Because I usually stay in the city. I think I'm going to fucking stay somewhere out in Jersey. You know? Maybe I'll call fucking, what's his face, Vinny Brand. Vinny Brand has a boat. I'm terrified of the ocean. Gonna go out in the fucking ocean with a goddamn club owner? Why not? All right. Okay, here we go. The probably with North Korea. Dear Ronald McDonald Balls. North Korea is a serious threat to East Asia and now too good a portion of the world. I understand that. So what? So are we. So are we. You know? If you're going to play this game, you know what I mean? Like everybody that said the Patriots cheated, if you're going to play that game, then you got to see the cheating that you're doing, correct? Am I nuts here? Am I crazy? Yes, the missile test the other day was a ballistic missile, but they can put a nuclear weapon on it as well. Okay, and so can we. We already have ours ready to go. Their latest test puts most of the U.S., all of Europe, and a good portion of Africa within range of their weapons. Yes, and all of those places are in range of our weapons and Russia's weapons. So, you know, I mean, look, I'm not saying it's great that this guy has this fucking thing, but just imagine if he had what we had. What the fuck would we be doing? Wouldn't we be doing the same fucking thing? Well, we got to get some stuff. He's making that shit because we got our shit. Right? It's like when the Yankees started spending $200 million fucking dollars, the Red Sox had to spend $190. That's what happens. That's what happens. And if they are actually able to successfully launch from a submarine as they are attempting to do this, this not only increases the range, but can potentially dramatically increase the amount of time we have to respond if they were to launch a missile. Well, what would happen, sir? Listen, everybody knows there's no end game to this shit. Okay? It's going to be over. We would have time to respond. Don't you remember, what the fuck was it, War Games? I can't believe how seriously people are fucking taking this shit. Like, I don't think this guy's out of his fucking mind in North Korea. All right? I'm just so fucking sick of having to turn on the TV and have somebody has to try this. Like, news now is just scare the shit out of somebody and offer no fucking solutions. And then normal people just sit there screaming at each other. To the point that this fucking dope is taking the time to turn my podcast, which is supposed to be a break from all of that shit, which is why I just say silly shit about it. You're turning this into Meet the Press. If that fucking asshole shoots one off, point it right at my house, because I don't want to survive it. I don't give a fuck. All right? We have no one to blame but ourselves. We're fucking defective. If human beings were cars, we would all be recalled. All right? We do not handle position of power well, and this is what the fuck happens. All right? We're fearful fucking lunatics who, for some stupid reason, were given the ability to fucking intimidate nerds so they would build all this shit for us. And now here we are. Here we are. All right? All right. North Korea also has the highest percentage of slaves in the world. Like you care, sir. Like you give a shit. Fully 4.4% of its population is enslaved. That is approximately 1.1 million. Sir, I am on an Apple fucking computer right now, and I'm sure you typed yours on an Apple computer too. Those people are jumping out of the factory. They're fucking slaves. All the shit that I'm wearing was made in sweatshops. Like, what are we doing now? Now we're going to fudge the fucking numbers so these people look like they're out of their minds, but everybody else is fucking okay? This is like, countries are like community colleges where they will figure out what they're number one in so they can fucking put it in their pamphlet. Okay, let's read some more fucking depressing information. This is why I don't watch the news. Today, and that doesn't even mention the network of concentration camps across the nation and the people getting less than subsistent levels of daily calories. Well, I mean, they're also not allowed to trade with anybody, are they? You know, they really can't get their shit going, right? I mean, part of that is us trying to force them into giving in to getting Forever 21s and Starbucks there. Isn't that right? I mean, I might be wrong, sir. I fucking watch sports. I watch sports. I listen to music. Okay? I block all this shit out. So I'm sure I mispronounced some words here. To put that into perspective, about 388,000 slaves were shipped to North America from 1525 to 1866. It's obviously a huge issue. Well, how do you put that in perspective without telling me what the population of Korea is? And also, 388,000 people back in between 1525 and 1866 was a way more significant portion of the population than it is today, correct? So I don't know what you're saying there, sir. But I do know that whenever we have an issue with the country, all of a sudden we pretend to care about its people. Unfortunately, there isn't any easy solution to the problem. Even if China withdraws their support and the regime collapses, you're still looking at a potential civil war in a nation with nuclear weapons. Let's just hope people smarter than you or I can find a different solution to the problem. And they won't. There's only one solution. Got to go in there and get them. Keep up the good work. I love hearing you talk about how awesome it is to be a parent instead of constant talk about how hard it is. As a dad of two boys, there are obviously days when I feel like ripping out what little hair I have left, but the vast majority of the time is just awesome. Look at this. He was actually just informing me, and I got all fucking defensive because all this week people said that I said nuclear instead of nuclear. Yes, sir. I realize he's out of his fucking mind. I realize that person's out of his fucking mind. The guy before him, his dad was out of his fucking mind. Okay? Trump is out of his fucking mind. I'm out of my fucking mind. Okay? Nobody should have weapons other than your fucking fists and whatever you can grab in the kitchen. That would be better. All right? I don't understand why war is legal, but it is. So, this is the game that we play with each other, and it is fucking inevitable that one day somebody is going to go Martin Sheen dead zone. And what are you going to do? You know? See, people, this is why I have all 4 sports packages. Because I don't want to know about this shit. I don't want to fucking sit here and watch the news and have them scare the living shit out of me that now this is going to happen. you know, and some fly's going to bite me, and then I'm going to have a baby with a little head. Somebody else is going to fucking blow me up. Yeah, I don't want to talk about this, okay? Trying to keep it light on the podcast here. Let's just laugh at me not being able to pronounce words. Don't bring actual facts into this podcast. All right. Girls softball team punished. Hey there, Billy Batting Glove. Did you hear about the girls softball team that was removed from the World Series because of a picture of some of the players flicking off the camera on social media? One of the girls on the team is the daughter of a family friend. It's fucking brutal. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't understand social media. I'm kind of over it, other than for business purposes. I don't think it's a good thing. That should have just been a funny picture that they all took, shared amongst themselves, but now you upload it and everybody sees it, and, you know, somebody's going to get offended. Let me guess, were they the best? They probably were the number one seed? This sounds like one of those Bad News Bears things. They were removed from the World Series. Well, you know how people are. They try to make money. They make money off that World Series. Is it a national thing? I don't know. It's like the Colin Kaepernick thing. Everybody's fucking flipping out and immediately thinking that this guy's not getting hired because of racism. It's like the NFL is a fucking corporation. Okay? You know what they give a fuck about? Money. Now, look, if he was trying to get a coaching job or own a team, then yeah, I would say racism would be more obvious. But like what he does, most of the league is black doing. Okay? Their thing is they're such cheap fucking cunts. They would rather lose a fucking game. They probably have an algorithm going like, okay, if we get this guy and he wins a few more games, how many jerseys will we sell versus the amount of people who won't buy a jersey because we signed this guy? And I swear to God, if we'll sell a fucking jersey less by signing a guy who would actually make us a better fucking team, I swear to they will decide not to sign the guy. I'm not saying there isn't racism involved, but it's fucking economics. And what these fucking corporations try to do is they don't want any bullshit. They want smooth fucking water. That's what they want. Everybody fucking just toe the fucking line. That's what they want. And I'll tell you, all these fucking groups that are trying to make change know that shit, which is why they always complain to the advertisers, because the advertisers will then pull sponsorship from TV shows. They'll do it from fucking podcasts. Everybody knows that. So the NFL is a corporation. So that's what they're doing. Now, I don't know what the fuck league these girls are in, but I'm sure they have some sort of stupid conduct thing that they're trying to uphold. Yeah, it's fucking stupid. It's also fucking stupid to upload that picture. I mean, how many of these dumb stories are you going to see where people get offended by absolutely nothing and then something happens, right? That's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. All right, Trent Reznor. This is like a way more serious podcast than I ever want to do. I don't know. I don't know what I have to do. I'm going to just start making up shit here. I try to read the news, but it's just all depressing. Although the funny one was all this shit coming out about Lady Diana now. I just don't understand how new evidence 20 years later, they found out that fucking she was listening to Prince Charles jerking off, talking to some other lady on a toilet. Did somebody have that tape for fucking 20 years going, hey, dude, listen to this. I swear to God, don't tell anybody I have this. I'm going to release it when the time is right. And then you just hear the echoing sound of Prince Charles going, right, I'm going to put in your ass, your arse. All right, Trent Reznor article. Hey, Billy boy, thought you could relate to this. Trent Reznor talks about what it's like to meet his parents' kids. You meant to say his kids' parents, while having a body of work with lyrics like, I want to fuck you like an animal. Yeah, I read that article, but never underestimate the power of celebrity. And especially, I don't know, he's an older dad, so maybe they don't even know what his fucking music is. But, I wouldn't give a shit. I downloaded that fucking song. I fucking loved his stuff. That shit came out, like that album blew my fucking mind. I'd be like, that's Trent fucking Reznor. Hey, sweetheart, that's Trent fucking Reznor. I wouldn't give a shit, you know? But it's got to be weird. But then there's, of course, the people that don't like it, you know? The people that are at, like, the 4-H club. You know, what are you going to do? He wanted to fuck someone like an animal, and he expressed it. All right, caught girlfriend cheating after joining the military, and I legally can't leave her. What? She's your girlfriend. All right, dear Billy Bald Balls. These are good this week. You guys usually, you know, lately there's been a little drought. These are fucking funny this week. All right, greetings from Scotland. Recently, I quit my well-paying job to join the British Royal Marines. My girlfriend of 4 years was very hesitant and didn't want me to leave, but it had been a dream of mine since I was 14. I sat her down a week before leaving and gave her the opportunity to separate. Wait, my girlfriend of 4 years was very hesitant and didn't want me to leave, but it had been a dream of mine since I was 14. Okay. I sat down with her a week before leaving and gave her the opportunity to separate on good terms and maybe continue our relationship when I had finished my mandatory 4 years service. But if we stayed together, if we stayed together and she cheated, she would be dead to me. I'm half Sicilian, by the way. She chose to stay. The fact that you were giving her the option to leave, I mean, how much do you give a shit about this woman? I was in for just over 4 weeks and fell during a run, and a 6'6" monster of a guy stood on my leg, breaking my tibia in 2 places. Oh, fuck. I was given the choice of staying in medical custody on base and rejoining training when I had healed or leaving for a year. I chose to leave so I could spend more time with my girlfriend. Uh-oh. I thought it would be a nice surprise to not tell her I was coming home. Oh, Jesus. I arrived home around 9 p.m. on Thursday. Oh, my God. To find my girl, oh, Jesus, choking on some guy's dick. Wow. So what did you do? Did you throw your fucking crutches at him? Naturally, my instinct was to beat the shit out of the guy, but I'm not too mobile with the pair of crutches. I forced the 2 out of my house and kept my promise of you're dead to me by changing the locks the next morning and blocking her number and social media accounts. Around 2 weeks later, I received a letter from a lawyer saying that if I don't take her back, she can legally take half of all my assets, including the house my mother left me in her will because we had been together for more than 2 years. What? I thought you had to be married, but lo and behold, the British justice system does me another solid. I could understand if I was away on tour from 9 months and she cheated, but 4 weeks? Fucking 4 weeks? You got to be fucking kidding me. Should I just take the loss and leave this dumb whore? Or do I take her back and try to forget the fact that she took the first opportunity she had to jump another guy's bones? Your input would be great and maybe can put a funny twist on this fucked up opportunity for your listeners. Dude, you need to get a fucking lawyer. You need to get that bitch out of your life and get a fucking lawyer. That's what you need to do. All right, that's one of the dumbest laws I've ever heard in my life, and that's going to cause people to make some really fucked up decisions. If someone can screw them that fucking bad, all right. Over here, if statutory, not statutory rape. What is it? What is it? What is the fucking law when you're legally married? Not squatters' rights. What the fuck is it? I don't know. Over here, it's like you got to be living with somebody for like 7 years, depending on the state. And at that point, they consider it's so dumb that she's entitled to half your shit, especially if she's not making any money and you're fucking paying for everything. You know? It's fucking ridiculous. What a fucking cunt. You know what I mean? I mean, how many fucking stories do they do out there about men beating women and how awful men are to fucking women, right? Which obviously they got to shine a light on that. But look at this. She's fucking whore who sucked this other guy's dick could care less about taking half of the house that your mother left you. Oh my God, what a fucking cunt. Dude, I would get a lawyer. I would get a fucking lawyer. What a fucking piece of shit. Dude, like, I can't even, this is like making me angry that someone could do that to somebody. What kind of a piece of shit? Yeah, the kind of person that fucking blows somebody 4 weeks after that. But even then, there's plenty of women that would do that. There's plenty of fucking women that would do that, but they wouldn't take your fucking house. They were raised right. If they get caught sucking a dick, they go, fair enough, and they leave. Jesus Christ. I would get a lawyer, sir. I would get a lawyer, and I would fucking fight this thing, find some fucking thing that, oh my God. The advice that I want to give you, I can't say over this because I'll be liable. Okay? And it's like, all right, let me tell the fucking little story here. No, I can't do it. I can't tell the story because I'll get in fucking trouble. I won't. Sir, you know what? I would get a lawyer and handle it legally. Don't do anything fucking crazy. All right? Jesus Christ, what a cunt. Dude, I'll tell you right there, man. You met one for the ages. That's a first ballot Hall of Fame cunt if I ever fucking heard of one. Good Lord. I could see if she caught you and then out of vindictiveness then did that. They'd be like, well, what the fuck? But she's going to do that and then take half your fucking house? And you know what kills me? When she tells the story, I'm not saying she'll she won't be in the wrong. I mean, that's a fucking psychopath. Thank God you didn't breed with her, man. Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus Christ. Well, you know what? Thank you for your service, sir. You know what? These whores can take everything you got, and there's nothing you can fucking do about it. That's how the laws are set up, and I got to be honest with you, dude. Worst case scenario, if she takes half your house and half the shit, even still, considering what the fuck they can do to you, you actually got off easy. Easier than a lot of guys did. But Jesus Christ. Can I apologize for this podcast? I don't want to get involved in world politics. I don't want to talk about North Korea. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. You know what I mean? And for the 18 people that are going to take any of this shit fucking seriously, I don't give a shit. Let's just keep it to correcting my fucking spelling, shall we? I'm going to end this fucking podcast on an upbeat note. It's Joe DeRosa's birthday today, and God damn it, he's coming home from fucking Amsterdam, and I'm going, happy birthday, Joey Roses. Happy birthday, Joey Roses over there. Oh, I can't sing the song. If you ever heard this fucking songs we sing to each other, I mean, I'm trying to think of a group that wouldn't be offended by it. Well, I know the one group in particular. I literally can't even sing in the fucking, this whole thing just went off the fucking rails. This whole podcast went off the rails because that was such a fucking, do you know what I did? Because I've been stuck in the writer's room and I haven't been going out and doing stand-up and seeing people and having stories to tell you. What I do before I get on the podcast now is I just click on Google News, and it's just the most horrific shit. That fucking ride that broke in Ohio, fucking 18-year-old kid died. Kid was born in 1999, died going to a fucking amusement park. Somebody blew up a mosque, tried to, in fucking Minneapolis. I don't understand how people sit there and they watch CNN and Fox and all that shit and just, like, what does it do for you to stay informed? I'd have a fucking, I don't know what, it'd be fucking, I didn't want to say it. I don't want to say what the fuck I would be doing. It's just not fun anymore. You know what I gotta do? I'm gonna watch, I promise you guys, I'm just gonna watch sports between now and Thursday, and I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna go to a mall or something. I'll just make fun of fat people when I get back. I apologize for the heaviness of this podcast. All right? Go fuck yourselves. I'll check in on you on Thursday over there.